Very easy terrain, gentle rolling hills, a network of roads that's been put in place from the forestry industry. There's actually power on the property, and importantly, this is just 15 minutes off a major highway, 30 minutes from the city of Merritt, where we have our core facility, our staff. We can get parts and supplies, and just 2.5 hours drive from Vancouver, where I live. Location, 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 and this drives costs. It means low cost exploration, a huge advantage for Westhaven. Please note we will be making forward-looking statements throughout this presentation. On this slide here, you'll see a map of the province of British Columbia with the Spences Bridge Gold Belt highlighted in gold color. In late 2018, we drilled 18 meters of 25 grams per ton gold and 107 grams per ton silver at the south zone. We followed that up with about 14 meters of 40 grams. And in 2022, we actually drilled the highest grade gold intercept ever on the property at the FMN zone. This was 23 meters of 37 grams per ton gold. Very recently, this year, in fact, we hit some surface bonanza grade at the Fran zone, 12 meters of almost 40 grams per ton gold. We do have an initial maiden resource on the property. It's 1.1 million ounces gold equivalent. It's a great start. We do think that this is going to get bigger with more drilling, more exploration in time. Excellent metallurgy. We've got 95, 96% recoveries, non-refractory, which is what you want to see. And we do believe this has district scale potential, this whole belt, because we have 4 properties stretched across it. And we own a lot of stock. Management insiders have 24% ownership. We are aligned with you as shareholders. We have skin in the game, as we say in English. You can also see a photo of the highway there that cuts through a portion of our property. Let's zoom in on this Spences Bridge Gold Belt. You can see our 4 properties stretched across it: Shovel Nose, Prospect Valley, Skunk Creek, and Skunk North. Some other operating mines in the area include New Gold's New Afton, Teck's Highland Valley, and Copper Mountain down to the south, which is likely to become Hud Bay very soon. A little history of the belt. The Fraser River Gold Rush back in the 1800s drew thousands of prospectors to the area with dreams of striking it rich, panning and sluicing gold on the Fraser River. We believe the source of that gold is in fact this gold belt where we have our properties. This is very instrumental for the formation, the history of British Columbia was this Fraser River Gold Rush. Capital structure, 140 million shares out. Our market cap sits approximately 41, 42 million. We do have cash, 6.7 million currently, and we expect another 2.2 million back from the government in the form of a tax credit. So we are fully financed for our exploration and drilling program this year. We have analyst coverage from Raymond James and Red Cloud. Some major shareholders include Plethora Precious Metals Fund out of the Netherlands, Merck, Franco-Nevada is a strategic investor that came in late last year. And again, insiders and management own 24% of the shares. Zooming in on the Shovel Nose gold property, you can see it's a very large property right off the highway again, just 2.5 hours drive from Vancouver, 30 minutes to the city of Merritt, where we have our staff, core facility, parts, supplies, all can be brought in for low cost. Year-round exploration given our favorable geologic location. So you can see that gold box within the claim outline. That is where the 1.1 million ounce maiden resource sits. That's where the high-grade intercepts have been drilled along a 4-kilometer structure. You can fit 22, 23 of those gold boxes within this claim outline. So if we've got 1.1 million ounces discovered already, if we're successful on just half this property, it's very large and underexplored, you're looking at a potential multi-million ounce play here. Zooming in on that gold box, you can see the 1.1 million ounce resource located at the south zone there within a pit shell, open pit design. You can see some high grade within that, almost 13 meters of 40 grams per ton gold, stretching up to the FMN, 23 meters of 37 grams per ton gold, and recently the Franz, 12 meters of 40 grams per ton gold, sitting at surface in an outcrop. This dominant structure stretches about 4 kilometers from the south zone up through the northwest. So this zone 1 trend, if you will, which stretches 4 kilometers, which I mentioned, has high grade located all along it. Anywhere from 500 gram meters to close to 900 gram meters have been intersected along this key trend. You can see the South Zone open pit resource within that pink outline there. You can see that super high grade hit at the FMN, that almost 900 gram meter intercept, and recently some high grade at the Franz, and you can see that outcrop sits right at surface. This is very important because potentially in the future this could be mined at very low cost. We do think this Franz extends further to the northwest. In fact, our geologists have outlined some targets. We have drilled some holes in this already this year, and assays are pending, so stay tuned for that. So, possible underground mining scenario. We do not have a PEA or a pre-feas or any type of economic or engineering study published. We only have a resource, and we've got some fantastic drill holes. The resource was published as an open pit concept, but what would this thing look like potentially underground? Well, we're going to start looking at that now internally and likely publishing some type of document, probably the form of a PEA, later this year, so stay tuned for that. A fun exercise I did, Brent Cook, Exploration Insights newsletter, who Kai Hoffman follows, several of you may know of, very well respected analyst, newsletter writer in the industry, gave a presentation recently. He was talking about the steeper the vein, the cheaper to mine. Right? He was talking about ore makes money, waste loses money. And in his presentation, you can see he was talking about a 3 meter wide vein. Anyway, what we did is we took our cross-section from our 43101. Now, this was done by an independent, professional, qualified third party. You can see that our vein width in that red vein zone 1 is 65 meters across and 380 meters vertical extent. This is a big, thick, steep vein, if you will. So my question is, how steep is it? Is this steep enough for you, Brent? What does this mean? It means potentially, in the future, this could have positive economic benefits. Why? Because we're not mining and following a narrow high-grade vein and incurring all this dilution from the wall rock. You've got a steep, thick vein that goes down and could potentially provide some positive economics. Stay tuned for that. Really, what's going to drive value is new discovery, new exploration targets that we're going to be drilling this year. So we've got several outlined. The FMN Tower Gap, hydrothermal Breccia 2, which we're drilling currently, Brookmere Curtain, and again this Franz, which we believe extends further to the northwest. So what we're trying to say here is, you look at the rock from Hishikari. This is Sumitomo's gold mine in Japan, arguably the highest grade, best gold mine in the world. Their core looks very similar to our core, low sulfidation epithermal, same textures. You can see it looks very similar. We've superimposed our South Zone vein swarm discovery over their property. We're being a bit cheeky here, a bit bold, but we're trying to make the point that these low sulfidation epithermal discoveries, they come in these vein swarms. There are usually several across the property. Their mine's been in production for years. We're a relatively new discovery in the sense that we're still drilling and making new discoveries. Can there be more of these vein swarms found and drilled off in the future? We certainly believe so. We do have another gold property along the belt called Skunka. We drilled this last year. We hit some interesting numbers, almost 2 meters of 21 grams per ton gold at the JJ zone. We hit 48 meters of over a gram material, and we've extended this all the way down to the southwest, about 1.6 kilometers, and we hit a gram material gold down there as well. So we believe this strike is very large. There's potential to find gold all along it. There's indication that there's other areas of interest on this property. We've had grab samples, 8.5 grams. We've had almost 4 gram material over 5 meters in other target areas. So what we're trying to say here is we've got another gold property that could be equal to or even better than the shovel nose. We're going to get back there, do some more work this year. We're also going to be doing work on our Skunka North property in the form of soil geochem, mapping, stream sediment sampling. So we're working essentially all our properties this year. We do have excellent relations with the First Nations. We've got a very diverse workforce. And really wrapping it up, why invest in Westhaven? Well, we're drill testing multiple targets this year. We've got the money to do it, fully funded for this year's program. Management and insiders are aligned with our shareholders. We have a lot of stock. We've got a lot of skin in the game, which means we care about how money's raised. We care about how money's spent. And we have a very strategic advantage, our location being located just off a highway in Canada, near cities and labor and parts and supplies. Everyone's heard about these inflationary concerns and inflation running rampant around the world. Having a low-cost exploration project is an advantage in this market. That is all. Thank you very much. Dankeschön.
Yeah, thank you very much. Danke dir. We have times for 1-2 questions. Any questions? In the auditorium?
That means I did my job.
Yes, they are royalties.
Yes, Franco-Nevada.
How many?
Yeah. So we did a deal with them late last year. So they now have, on the entire belt, the entire portfolio of properties, there is 4%. We can buy back a lot of that. So at the shovel nose, essentially at the end of the day, after buybacks, we'll have a 2.5% royalty on that property. If you want more details, I can talk to you outside the room here. Great. Anything else? No? All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sorry. Yeah.